Welcome to the 2020 Alberta Irrigation Districts Association Water Conference. Thank you to the exhibitors, the sponsors, the presenters, and to you, the attendees, for being here. A special thank you also to the government representatives in attendance, in particular Minister Dixon, MLA Nathan Newdorf representing Lethbridge East, MLA Lauren Dack, our opposition ag critic, Saskatchewan MLA Lyle Stewart, who I had the pleasure of meeting with last night and who is a real champion of irrigation expansion in Saskatchewan, and a special welcome to Member of Parliament Martin Shields. He's always been a strong supporter of this conference. Before we continue, and in the spirit of reconciliation, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that we are gathered here today on traditional territory of the peoples of Treaty 7. Signatories to Treaty 7 include the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Kainai, and Piguni, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including Chiniki, Bearspaw, Wellesley, and Wesley First Nations. We also acknowledge the Métis, who share a special connection with this land. My name is Alex Ostrop. I'm an irrigation farmer south of Grassy Lake, which is about 100 kilometers east of here. I'm a board member of the St. Mary's River Irrigation District, and as of very recently, chair of the executive of AIDA, having replaced Richard Phillips at the conclusion of his 3-year term. Thank you, Richard, for your leadership and valuable guidance. If there's one thing that we here in southern Alberta have been reminded of these last 3 growing seasons, it is the importance of water. Water and the infrastructure that brings that water to the farmer's field have allowed agriculture in this region to succeed even in the dry years. One does not need to be a farmer or even particularly perceptive to realize the difference between an irrigated field and a dryland field this past summer. But even more important than this obvious difference in plant health and the particular yield of a particular field in a particular year is the stability and the predictability that water and water infrastructure bring to this region. Irrigation has allowed innovative farmers to expand into specialty crops with somewhat predictable results. This crop diversification and mitigation of drought risk has in turn brought value-added food processing to this region. From these direct economic benefits and all the ancillary spin-off businesses they create, it is clear that the economy of southern Alberta revolves around and is dependent on irrigation. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know when I say that water infrastructure of the 13 irrigation districts that comprise the AIDA support not only food production, but also communities, businesses, wildlife, wetlands, and recreation. And it is important to recognize that we are the stewards of this water. Whether it's the irrigation districts, the various levels of government, the farmers, we all are the stewards of this precious resource. And it will come as a surprise to no one that as urban populations grow and its climate becomes less predictable, that there will be increased pressure on this valuable resource. It is therefore our responsibility to challenge ourselves to manage this resource as best possible. With that in mind, we have structured the next day and a half to include a variety of presenters and topics to that end. This morning, our topics are with respect to water management, protecting sources of drinking water, water supply management, and the challenges we face. In the afternoon, we will turn towards future trends in agriculture, particularly irrigation agriculture, as we talk about plant proteins, and recognize the increased importance of this water-efficient source of protein. We'll talk about precision agriculture and precision irrigation and research and development updates. Tomorrow morning, we will be presented with sustainable and complementary benefits of irrigation, which also add further revenue streams, such as the solar and irrican infrastructure employed by farmers and irrigation districts. Then we will conclude the conference with a case study and a discussion on irrigation and district service levels.